Thank you for tuning in to the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. This is the fantasy episode for week 14 of the NFL season. We are so excited to get into the nitty gritty and talk about what everybody wants about fantasy football. That is the panic meter going into the playoffs. Stay tuned for all of the deep dives and what we've got in store for you today.
Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Welcome back to the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. It's your boy Shane. That's your boy Jason. We are missing the unfathomable, the imaginable Mr. Matt himself. We're sad. It's okay. But he couldn't be here today. He's out there doing dad stuff, Ugh, man, the worst. Just kidding. It's the best. It's the best. We know it is. We'll catch you later, Matt. But in the meantime, you got us. We're going to give the rundown, and we're going to do the best segment first. And that's not just because I made it up. It's our panic meter. It's our check-in, and I am super pumped to see who we are fading this week. Let's get right into the sauce, Jay.
Let's get it.
It's your code of shame. And since Matt's not here, he phoned in his pick because why the heck not? And his pick may have been my favorite, Jason.
Ooh.
It is Lamar Jackson. And I'm not going to lie. I felt this one in my soul, and I know that a lot of people who play fantasy football this year feel the exact same way. Utter, pure disappointment for the man that is Lamar Jackson. He has underwhelmed even the most highly touted experts this year, only providing, aside from the first 3 weeks, one top 10 finish in all of fantasy football. That's abysmal, my guy. Under sub 10 points in the last 3 games. That is the deepest depths of benchable material. And it's terrible because he is one of the forefathers of what we call the Konami quarterbacks. And how are you going to bench Lamar Jackson? You drafted him so high, and it becomes a sunk cost fallacy where you can't move on. But I hate to tell you guys, Jason, what am I going to say?
Move on.
It's time to move on. Like, if you haven't at this point, if you are still in the playoffs, congratulations, you've done it despite having one hand tied behind your back. But guess what? Move on. Drop him. You could, I think, honestly drop him at this point. It wouldn't. It pains me to say that, but I don't foresee an abrupt change. What usage are we going to get out of Lamar? He's shown he's not wanting to run the football. Their offense is not built around him throwing the ball. He's not going to put up gaudy numbers as a passer. That's just not his game. So what vestige of hope do we still have? Tyler Schuch outproduced him this past week. Tyler Schuch was QB 12. Lamar was QB 27. Like, why are we doing this dance? If he was anybody else, you would have cut him already. Do what you got to do. Jason, who do you not want to play with anymore? Tell me who and why.
That's a crazy take with Lamar Jackson, but the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, and to be fair, not my take. Matt's take.
Yeah,
I did
exactly.
put the words in format, so like half of our take, but
I'm going with Pity City, Shane. Michael Pittman Jr. the third. The past 3 weeks that he has played, there was a bye week in there. 2 receptions, 19 yards, 5 receptions, 27 yards. He did get in the end zone, which probably helped you out a little bit. And last week versus my Texans, 1 reception for 13 yards. It is crazy to see those numbers, especially with the guy you drafted, or you put a lot of that you drafted with a lot of value somewhere in your draft, probably 5th round, 4th round, right, Shane?
Yeah, somewhere in then.
Yeah.
Fifth to seventh would probably be where most people got him. But yeah, that's the sunk
Yeah.
capital that you're like, where is my wide receiver two? Where's
Alec Pierce is getting the volume in that offense, and it's crazy to see. He looks good in that offense right now,
Mm.
and Danny Dimes and him have this connection and chemistry right now, and it seems like the other guy he's going to go to is Downs for the past couple weeks. So
Yeah, don't forget about Tyler Warren too. He's on that
yeah,
team too.
and Warren,
That's
I forget about that too. Yeah,
Warren's that chain mover, and then I mean they also have a secret special sauce named Jonathan Taylor. So when he's getting 37 touts a game, what are you gonna do?
right. But Pity City is not getting you in the playoffs anytime soon, especially this week versus the Jags, who are pretty stout on the D line. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
No, I completely agree. I think that you're looking for better options. I'm not necessarily dropping Pity because he's shown promise,
Mhm.
and it may just be a bad 3-week stretch. But like, and I know that I just ripped on Lamar for the 3-week stretch, so like, don't at me. But the difference is that we've seen constant production from Pity, and wide receiver is such a volatile position. When you see, sub 10-digit points from quarterback, that's telling you something, Jason.
Yeah.
And speaking of sub 10-digit points from a quarterback, how about sub 5-digit points or 10-digit points from a running back who you drafted in the first 3 rounds, Jason? That's right. I'm talking about Kyren Williams, who has only put up 3 total top 5 finishes this year in fantasy football as a running back. That's insane. Not only that, in the last 3 weeks, he is RB12, RB33, and then this past week, RB17. And guess who scored higher than him? His counterpart, Blake Corum, this past week. The man is still holding a 67% backfield snap rate. But does it matter if he's not producing? The answer is no. And it's unfortunate. I still think he's probably flexible. But if I'm looking down the barrel of a must-win situation and make myself in the playoffs, Kyron's someone who I'm probably looking at. I can maybe bench him, especially if they get up against Arizona. Guess who's going to get the snaps? It's not going to be Kyren. They're going to use Blake Corum because Sean McVay hates fantasy football. And then he's going to throw back corner fade to Devontae Adams when they're up 4 touchdowns already. It's going to
on the 1 yard line.
On the 1 yard line
Mm-hmm.
for the 7th time in the game. It's going to happen. He hates fantasy football that way. If you're not a pass catcher, you're not cool. That's the rule. That's all I got.
It seems to me that they're trying to take Miles off of his off the car with him and save him for late in the season, which I get it in the team aspect. For fantasy, that sucks.
Yeah, but what about late in the season? That's my question is like,
Yeah.
when is late in the season? You're in week 14.
Mm-hmm.
What are we saving him for? The playoffs, maybe? I get that, but dang, the car's got to run by the time you get to the playoffs. Playoffs, John Mora or Jim Mora. Man, let's get right into it, Jay. First of all, let's do some housekeeping. If you enjoy listening to podcasts, you can check us on every place that carries podcasts: Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. We're even there, and we heart you for giving us a listen. If you go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us 5 stars on those. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube, where you can see our beautiful smiling faces, including Jason's smiling face. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're with Fantasy Six Pack, and that is where you can find all of our video content, including our best bets of the week, which premieres every single Tuesday night live. So you don't want to miss that. Last but not least, go ahead, head over, use your little thumbs, go to fantasysixpack.net. Use code ParlayFF for 15% off. That's our special code that lets them know that we sent you there and that you get all of the greatness that is Parlay Fantasy Football and all of the greatness that is Fantasy Six Pack together in one for 15% off. Without further ado, Jason, let's get into the games.
Let's do it.
Because we actually have a fantastic Thursday night game. They do it for Thanksgiving, and then they give us to us again the next week. We're gonna get spoiled, and then we're gonna get stuck with a shitty island game going forward. And we're gonna be like, oh, man, I remember when we had Thanksgiving, and then we had Cowboys Lions in Thursday night football. Man, that is something else. Listen, the news that is without a doubt, and everybody's first thoughts when they said this game was Amon-Ra St. Brown, is he playing? Is he not? We don't know. That's what we know. He didn't practice today. And it's Tuesday. We haven't got any updates from Wednesday. That was the last update we got was Tuesday. He didn't practice. The game's Thursday. It looks like the answer is no. Yeah, like that. Sorry. Play by ear, but looks like no. Other than that, I am firing up every single piece of both of these offenses. This total is supposed to be the biggest total of the entire week at 54 points. So I want everything to do with this game. Give me any single player that you think is going to have a role. Jason, is there anybody out of the ordinary? Like, who's filling in for Amon-Ra? Because Laporta's out. So, like, are we rolling the dice with, like, Khalif Raymond, or is it a JMO situation? What's going on here?
JMO's a must fire this week. You have
I mean,
to.
you love JMO.
Yes.
You love JMO. So I don't know why I even phrased that. Dang it, I set you up for that one.
The two that you could possibly look at, Kennedy and Tesla, for potential pickup. But at the same time, target wise, JMO got 10, had by far the most targets last week. You're firing up Montgomery, you're firing up Gibbs. On the Cowboys side, it's the three-headed monster. You are Javonte, you're firing up. I like Ferguson this week too, even though
yeah,
that
I think
core.
Fergie's always in play, especially because the tight end landscape is just pretty
right.
Blah.
Yeah, but I like any part of this game that I can get.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Yeah, especially with the highest point total of the entire week, you want any part, you want all the parts, and except for, I will say, I don't want Jared Goff. That's the one thing I will say. I don't want Jared Goff.
That's fair.
Other than that, though, I want all parts. The Commanders Vikings is our next game, and let me just tell you, for those of you that speak German, 9, I will not be watching this game. So, yeah, that's how I feel about this. I don't want to watch Justin Jefferson struggle. I don't want to watch Aaron Jones have 8 men stacked in the box against him. I don't want to watch Marcus Mariota fling the ball 37 times to Scary Terry against this Minnesota Vikings defense. So, like, it's a no for me. If I have any way of not participating, I would look to that.
I do like Ertz's chemistry with Mariota, even though he should have had a touchdown late in that game that he dropped. But yeah, Ertz is one of those plays that I do love in this game.
Yeah, he's a value. I just, man, I wish that there was an answer for any of this. The Vikings, I would say, a lot of this is getting laid at JJ McCarthy's feet, and it should to an extent. However, their offensive line is absolutely abysmal this year. And they did no favors to help him set up himself to have a successful rookie season, because they took the worst offensive line in football, which is what they had last year, and they proceeded to somehow make it worse. So that's impressive. Congrats. That should be the number one addressed feature of the Vikings this upcoming offseason. And they should already be looking to the offseason, because they ain't got no shot. Speaking of no shot, the Dolphins and the Jets, Jason, I am firing up running backs for both of these teams. And, Brees and the superstar that is Devon Achane. And then I am not touching anybody else.
Are you sold on Adonai Mitchell with his performance last week?
I like Adonai Mitchell a lot. I'm not going to say I'm not sold. I also think John Mechie's in play.
I love how he's getting targets on that team.
Yeah, they both earn targets, man. I think that this is an interesting spot for both those. If you're looking for like a dart throw flex, like if you happen to have San Francisco pass catchers who are healthy.
Don't get me started.
then you're like, hey, we'll just plug and play here. Yeah, I think Adonai and John Mechie are both, kind of valuable. I mean, Malik would be viable, but the Jets kind of are sneaky good defensively sometimes. It just kind of depends on what team you're going to get from the Jets. So
Right.
you never know, unfortunately, what you're going to exactly see. Oh, speaking of what we're going to see, I wish that we didn't have to see this game, Jason. It is the Titans Browns, man. And hey, what if I told you that the two most highly touted college quarterbacks, rookies for the NFL, would be facing off this year? Is that something I could interest you in?
I would tune in to watch that.
Well, let me tell you this. That's what we have technically in this matchup. And I still don't want to watch it.
Nope, not anymore. Not after seeing what both teams did last week. I think the only play is Judkins in this game.
Yeah. I'm not trying to start any of the running backs for the Titans, and I don't know if it's going to be Chig or
Right.
Gunnar Helm or Ao Manor. I'm done trying to figure out the Titans. I want Cam Ward to succeed. That's all. That's what I'm going to say. Please don't kill him, Myles Garrett. That's all. That's what I got, man. He looks. There were flashes, and you're like, man, if he just had a competent offensive line, this man could do some stuff. And you see it, and then you like watch him get absolutely freaking high-low crushed the next play on like a 0.3 of a second drop back, and you're like, man, no wonder your team is so bad this year. Anyways, I digress. Let's get right into the Steelers and Ravens, a game that we should all care about because, well, is it Mason Rudolph, Jason?
Who knows? I mean, Aaron Rodgers did come out. He has a fracture in his wrist or his arm, something like that. They were in pistol the entire game. That offense looked bad. He called out his receivers and whatnot. You really don't
Yeah.
know what to do with that offense because you probably drafted DK pretty high and you're hoping something happens there. I think you're going to have to play him. It's still bad in my opinion, but I mean, it's one of the only players I like. Warren in that game. It's a crapshoot with that
Dude,
offense right now. We have no idea
this-
what's going on.
The Steelers are the most nightmare offense that's good. Like,
Mhm.
that's the best thing I can say. Like, somehow they've created this amalgamation of offense that randomly, spontaneously will do things, but you can never guarantee who those things will be done by.
Right.
Like,
100%.
it could be the giant fridge that is Darnell Washington. It could be the tiny scatback Calvin Austin. We don't know. I refuse to participate. I zero want to. So I'm done. If I could cone of shame this entire offense, I would. I don't want to play anymore, man.
What about the Ravens side?
A Ravens side, you're starting Zay Flowers, who had a touchdown called back, which was kind of funny. And then Mark Andrews and Derrick Henry.
Digress.
I don't want to say Lamar. You should start. We just had this whole conversation. You should want to start Lamar in this spot. Do I have the cojones to start Lamar in this spot? Probably not. Not after what I've seen. He looks like he's hopping around on 1 foot, Jason.
Yeah.
Do you start Lamar? That's what I want to know, Jason. The people want to know, do you start Lamar?
Who's my other option? Give me an option. Like Darnold?
No, Darnold's too nice. Let's give you someone. Let's give
Mariota?
you. Oh, that's more adequate. Kirk Cousins.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins. Last week I have this pulled up.
Who beat Lamar Jackson in fantasy points last week? Let me let that be known.
I'm hesitant to say Lamar, but Kirk is throwing the ball 33 times last week. So
Mhm.
who does they play? Falcons. Play Seahawks. Oh, I'm going with Lamar.
Tyrod Taylor or Lamar Jackson.
I would go Tyrod. Screw
I,
it. He
I
ran it in for
know.
a touchdown too.
He had 44 yards rushing and 8 attempts. He also threw for 172 and had a touchdown. There are other quarterbacks at this point that I would rather roll the dice with than rolling the dice, running it back with Lamar. They say the only thing that makes you crazy is doing the same thing more than once and expecting a different result. Let's not be crazy, folks. Let's be sane going into playoffs. Speaking of sane in the membrane, it's not the Seahawks versus the Falcons because the Seahawks are they should call them the Roadhawks because they come by land or by sea and they love to play around with their food in their opponent's stadium. It's just it's a real thing. They like to pick them apart. This game is going to be interesting. Hopefully, JSN catches more than one football in the first half.
Yeah, that was crazy to see his stat line at the end of the game after basically putting up godly numbers all year. Seahawks, it's you're rolling with JSN regardless in this game. The running back room, I really want to stay away from that. I don't know what to do with that running back room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting Kenneth Walker, and I'm praying
Yeah,
that they don't just let him not get the ball. Because they do this whole, you get a drive thing. And then, like, randomly, George Holani will be thrown in at the goal line. And it's sometimes on Sharp's drives, and it's sometimes on Kenneth Walker's drive. So, like, you just have to hope. It's a dice. It's a dice roll. It's not a fun game to play. But you know who did not have to play that game? It was Bijan Robinson last week, Jason. He put up a crooked number. Do you think he can repeat that performance against the Seahawks?
well, it's crazy how we talk about it all the time whenever he does have a bad game, and it seems like he doesn't touch the ball. It's like just give Bijan the ball and let him do his thing.
Weird. Who
He
would
had
thought?
7 targets through the air, 5 catches, and he had 23 rushing attempts. I love it. That's everything you want to see. Kyle Pitts made an appearance last week, 8 targets to the air, 7 receptions, 82 yards. Love to see that. I think Kirk D. Cousins is going to start targeting the dudes on that team. I also don't mind if you need a flex play, getting Algier, goal line vulture. He got in the end zone
I don't.
last week. He's gotten in the end zone
Yeah.
multiple times. I mean, and he's catching the ball in the backfield.
I do hear you, and I do understand what you're saying, but the Seahawks unit is not something I want to
Exactly.
play
Yeah.
with.
Mhm.
So, like, yes, in any other matchup, I'm probably saying yes. I don't want to play that game against the Seahawks. This
Right.
team is filthy against the run. They're a top 5 defense against the run DVOA.
Mhm.
So, you can. If you're desperate, I think there's a lot of players you can get some points from this week that has some interesting upside. And Algier falling into the end zone is definitely probably one of those. Speaking of falling into the end zone, that is your only hope if you are a Travis Etienne owner, because Tank Bigsby is that man again. Wait, it's not Tank Bigsby. It's the other guy that he lost his role to, right? It's Bashaw Tutin. Somehow he continues to be given the running back one role and continues to be given it and continues to find a way to give it away. Jags Colts. Are you playing ETN or are you I don't know, tooting your own horn here?
I like Brandon Strange. If I could throw that out there, give me some Strange action right now. Hey, Stranger Things came out the new season. Is this strange? It's a Strange season right now.
Yeah,
You like
yeah,
that?
it is. Yeah, yeah. Stranger Things for sure. It is Stranger Things season.
But
Trying
to
to get us
answer
in
your
trouble.
question, it's
Trying to get us in trouble. YouTube, he didn't mean it.
yeah, my bad. Do I want to fire him up? I think I have to.
I agree.
It's not pretty. I
You're
don't
not
think this game is
enjoying
gonna.
it.
I don't think this game's gonna be pretty at all.
No, it's going to be I think this is a slugfest game.
Jacoby Myers looks good.
He does. He looks like he has found the alpha role that he desired. I mean, they are also missing Hunter, so it's a little different, but
You firing up BTJ?
against the Colts. No.
Okay.
If I'm staring down the barrel and it's like BTJ or I don't know, Andre Yoshavash, I'm sorry, BTJ. But if I'm like BTJ or
Pittman. Yep.
Pittman. Give me Pittman.
Okay.
Even with a quarterback with a broken leg, broken arm, I don't know, broken something. I don't know. I'd still rather have Pittman over BTJ in my opinion.
Is Pierce a start this week?
Yes. I think Pierce is a start from now until they prove us wrong.
Agreed.
And then you're obviously starting JT. So duh. And Tyler Warren. Duh. Next game is one that everyone can just kind of sleep through. Devin Neal. Shout out Devin Neal, although somehow he still was outproduced. Buccaneers, you're starting everybody you have because they're going to put up a lot of crooked numbers in this game. That's the math. Jason, you got anything?
Nope, I agree.
Cool. Next game. This is one that should not be the 12 o'clock game. I just want that to be known. This game should have never been scheduled to be a noon kickoff. This is crazy. Bengals Bills. I want every piece I can of this team, of either team. In all honesty, Khalil Shakur, sure. I mean, Dalton Kincaid, slam. Jamar Chase, slam. James Cook, slam. Even Yoshavash is welcome here. Although Mitchell Tinsley is, I guess, the guy. Fun fact, he's from Lee Summit, Missouri. So shout out Mitchell Tinsley. You are a KC Metro guy. Love that from you. But yeah, the Bills, like, dude, it's Kincaid and it's Shakur, and Shakur did not exist last week. So it's more James.
Coleman even made an appearance in the end zone, which was a shocker.
Shocking sauce. Anyways, I think, I mean, I don't have anything additional aside from start whatever pieces you have, and if you need a deep flex, look at these two teams as your possibility to find one.
Yeah, points.
Ray Davis, I think, would be a good play in this week.
Oh, I do like that.
So, speaking of liking something, you like that? It's the Broncos versus the Raiders. We don't like that. This should have been swapped out for that noon game. This game is going to be pretty one-sided, in my opinion. And unfortunately, it will not be with the home team Raiders. It will be from the Broncos. Neither one of these teams is that inspiring. And RJ Harvey is probably the only guy I'm trusting from the Broncos. I guess Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders, you're going to start Genty because you drafted him high. And you're going to start Brock Bowers.
Yeah, the only two dudes.
And I don't think that anybody else deserves mention. Not even, I mean, I'll mention it. Trey Tucker exists. Troy Franklin sometimes exists. But good luck figuring out when they're going to boom or bust.
Do you like Ingram?
Yes and no.
Okay.
He's unreliable. It's like my biggest issue with him currently. I honestly, I've benched him in so many leagues. I haven't even checked back on a pulse. So let's see here. What was his last? Yeah, I mean, off the bye, he had 10 points, but before that, he had 5, 2, 0. None of that inspires. He's had 2 pop games. There's got to be, you have to be rolling the dice somewhere else, I think.
Okay. Just want to throw it out there.
I mean, it is tight end, so you can kind of play anybody and just hope. Speaking of just hoping, Caleb Williams and the Bears take on the Packers in Lambeau. Are we getting Lambeau leaps from Kyle Monogany? Or is it going to be Josh Jacobs watching Emmanuel Wilson walk in instead of him?
God, I love the ground game from the Bears and what they did last week.
Yeah, two-headed tandem is filthy.
They rushed it. The Packers' rush defense is actually above average, so I don't know if they'll be able to do that. I think they
Mm,
will get some push, but at the same time, Caleb Williams is going to have to do something with that offense. I think
yeah,
you fire up both running backs, though.
fun
See
fact,
what
I
happens.
actually think the Packers' run defense was better without Micah Parsons. When it was Kenny Clark in the middle, I think that
Mhm.
it was better.
Yeah,
So I think that they got a slight downgrade from this unit this year. But they're still a very good unit, and I do think that the Bears can make some noise here. I think that I'm starting the assets that I have in both of these teams. I'm not expecting a shootout, especially in Lambeau. There's a chance of snow, I believe. Keep an eye on the wind because that matters in these things, especially in that huge outdoor bowl.
you firing up a rum.
Mm,
I know.
begrudgingly,
Yeah.
begrudgingly, yes.
Then you never know who's going to catch the football with the Packers, but it seems like Dubs is a decent, viable option.
It's Watson, bruh. It's
Yeah.
Watson.
Hmm.
It's a Watson. That's the ultimate play, I think, because not only that, not only do you get the big play upside, which
Hmm.
you get from Christian Watson, and inherently, you get the touchdown upside. He is one of Jordan Love's favorite targets in the red zone, and I mean, why not? The man is
Yeah.
6'4". So I'm a fan of it. I've been slamming the table for Watson all year. I slammed the table for him last year before he got hurt. Maybe I'm right this year. Okay, Jason, let me have it.
It's nice seeing him
Uh,
on the field.
it's nice. It's great
Hmm.
to see him playing football. He makes that Packers team look pretty good right now. The Rams take on the Cardinals in sunny Arizona, Jason. I already bashed on Kyren Williams, so you take it away. Who are you playing? Who are you not playing? What would you like to do with this game?
Kyron, you're probably going to have to play him, even though that you want other options. Uh, the best goal line threat that they have there is Devontae Adams, which is amazing. Puka made one of the best catches I've seen in a while last week with the Cardinals. Trey McBride.
Oh, hold on. We need to backtrack. You said that. We also needed to give an honorable mention to Brock Bowers for the most insane catch.
Yeah, I
So
agree too.
those two catches were just absolutely crazy.
Dumb,
And
dumb.
sorry, continue.
Yeah, no. With the Rams, you're firing up just the core pieces right there, and hope Kyron gets in the end zone. I don't think there's really anybody else that you really
Can you flex Blake?
trust. Nah, not with confidence.
I mean, fair. But like you were talking about, Algier getting in the end zone. Blake's done it a couple of times, man.
Yeah, but I don't like goal line fades on the one.
I mean, that is true. But also,
Mhm.
it seems that like when they put Blake in the red zone, they're doing it to get him a touchdown, which is super funny because Kyron will be in there and they'll just throw back shoulder fades. But then
Yeah.
as soon as they put Blake Gorman, they're like, Blake, you're running the football. It's amazing. So I don't know. There's something weird about that. Maybe they don't trust Kyron to score on the red zone. That was an issue last year for him, was punching it in. So this is
Mhm.
their decision. And the Cardinals, I'm Trey McBride and Michael Wilson, maybe? Not super confident in Michael Wilson right now.
Mm-mm. It hurts. It hurts to say anybody else besides Trey McBride.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Wilson put up 5 points last week after having 2 monster weeks back to back.
Mhm.
That's just tough, man.
Versus a
MH,
good Rams defense who got exposed last week.
well, yeah, I mean, they were playing, and then, I mean, MHJ did come back, and he did some stuff, which was cool. There's a chance though that MHJ does miss this week, so keep an eye on that. If he does, I think Wilson becomes a smash start. Just saying. It is the later game though, so it's rolling some dice. I don't know if you're trying to cast that at this stage in the fantasy football season, but you know what I am trying to cast, and that's a catch this game, and that is Sunday Night Football, Jason. We have the Texans taking on my Chiefs. I guess I should say your Texans taking on
Mhm.
my Chiefs here at Arrowhead, just down the road from me. And it's going to be a horrible game if you are rooting for points. It will be a great game if you're rooting for football. So that's what we got. It'll be a slugfest.
What's that
You
weather
take
look
this.
like this week?
Cold. Actually, it's going to be like 40-something degrees Sunday.
Okay.
But
Texans,
it is an outside game, and CJ Stroud does struggle on the outside.
Texans, I think it's going to be a Dalton Schultz game. Dump offs. I
Yeah.
like him this week, especially with the pressure that the Chiefs are going to put on him. Woody Marks is a decent play with check
He is
downs as
questionable.
well. Yeah, I did see that. He kind of got rolled up on with an ankle. I like what we're doing with Higgins. I don't know if that's a viable play. He's getting targets in the end zone, which is nice to see, and downfield. So Nico for sure,
Mhm.
Woody if he plays, and Schultz for sure.
Yeah, I think those are the three key pieces for the Texans. The Chiefs, Kareem Rasheed, and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And I don't want to roll the dice with Xavier or Hollywood. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm choosing Hollywood
Okay.
at this juncture. Yeah, this game is going to be a slugfest. I think that I'm not trying to play pieces. I know there will be points scored, but like I'm not expecting a huge blow up game from these two teams. I think it's going to be a defensive battle, which makes for good Sunday night football.
And kickers in this game, love them.
Kickers, yeah. Hopefully Bucker doesn't miss wide right. That's the key. And Monday Night Football, Jason, we have another banger. Great isolated game slate this week. Eagles and Chargers cap it off for us in sunny LA. Let me just tell you, I think that the Eagles have to establish dominance this week running the football. So I will be the first one to say I expect Quads to have a top 5 RB week.
Needs it.
I
Needs
think
it badly.
I think they need it. I think that they need to show it. And I think that that's what's gonna happen against what I think is a Charger defense that is on the back foot at times.
Yeah, and I mean, you never know what you. It sucks this year because you knew what you were getting at the Eagles last year with through the air, ground and pound with Barkley getting in the end zone, putting up yards. It's one of those things where you're still firing up everybody on this team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not trying to shy away, but also you're lowering your own expectations while doing so, which sucks.
exactly. What about the Charger side?
Ooh, you're firing up the wide receivers and you're hoping for clarity in the running back situation. Gadsden has kind of just fallen off a cliff. I don't. No one knows what happened, but that's been beneficial to the wide receiver corps. So I think you run it back at this point and just until there's new information, you continue with the information you have.
Yeah,
So,
that's all you really can do. And I think it's going to be a possession game
and
with
that's why I
with
think
the
Hampton.
Chargers.
Yeah, I think Hampton and Vidal, like it's not a huge ton of upside because they're playing the Eagles, but we just saw the Eagles get exposed. And I don't think the Chargers can rely on that pass or on that O line holding up for a pass rush against that D line. That's a filthy D line. I don't think that you want to do that if you're the Chargers. So I think establishing the run early is probably going to be a key game script decision from Harbaugh. So we'll see what gets cooked up between those two, but expect a lot of possession football for both of the isolated games, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, in what is actually pretty big stuff for AFC playoff picture. So that's kind of cool. I think that wraps it up for us this week. Jason, you got anything else that you want to say to the people?
No, hey, playoff push now, baby. It's time to go.
It is a put up or shut up. It is the end of the year. Playoff push for both the teams in the NFL and your own fantasy teams. We are rooting for you. I hope that you win all of your matchups, unless you're playing me. In the meantime, we love you to the moon and back. From us, peace out.